How's it going, guys? Jeremy with WhitetailDNA, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about first light layering system for archery elk, specifically in the month of September, maybe into October a little bit. There's not a whole lot of info out there on layering systems, so we thought it'd be a great idea to cover what I wear during September when I'm chasing bulls. So basically what I want to cover today is I've always related this to like an 7 to 8 layering system piece, starting out with a base layer, a top for sure. Bottoms for me is optional depending on the weather, whether I'm in the mountains or maybe I'm in the prairies chasing elk. It all depends on, obviously in the mountains you're going to get cooler weather. In the prairies it's definitely going to be a little hotter depending on where you're at. So start with the top, base layer top, working into the bottoms if you want to wear bottoms, and then going into a mid layer. This might be for early mornings when you're hiking around, when you're active, something where you just need to take the chill off but you're moving around. And then next would be a pant, some sort of soft shell pant. Obviously thickness, again, depends on where you're hunting, whether it's colder or maybe it's hotter out. And then going into our rain gear, so we have a top and a bottom. I always carry both bottom and top, you just never know, especially in the mountains. Some people don't. Some people just wear the top and then they might wear gaiters on the bottom, which is totally fine. I've done that before. You just kind of gotta look at the forecast and see what's in your area. And then lastly, like a static insulation, your typical puffy, whether it's just a top or maybe you carry the bottoms and the top. Again, this is archery elk, so it's typically decent weather, maybe as low as the 20s all the way up to 60, 70 is pretty average, but it can get up to 90 in the prairies. So this is the first light edition, so we're going to talk about what I wear. We'll start with the top base layer. We're going to kind of go over some different options you can do, and then it's obviously up to you to make your own decision. So first off, this is the new First Light Yuma synthetic base layer. This is the hoodie. I really like this so far. I ran it on a couple hikes. It breathes really well. It's super soft. This will probably be what I wear this year since I am hunting kind of that prairie desert area for elk this year. It does get super hot during the day. You sweat a ton. And this breathes really well. So I'm a big fan of this. If I was going into the mountains and I had a little cooler weather, I think I would go with the Wick hoodie. This just is a little heavier. It breathes really well. Wicks moisture. It carries your odor. It does really good. So these are both really good options. I'm gonna bring both of these and I'll probably switch to the Wick eventually when I sweat this out. And then moving on to our mid layer, there's a couple different options. I've always loved the Origin hoodie, just because it has the face mask built in. It's a nice top layer. This is something I'd wear like right away when I get up and we're going to hike to a ridge, or maybe we're going to glass or whatever we're doing. This is something that'll kind of cut that coldness away from me, but it'll also keep me warm and move that moisture away from my body. Then we'll go into the pants. So basically we have two options here. First option that I think I'm gonna go with is a trace pant. Breathes really well, it's lightweight, it has the side zips. For me, side zips is huge just to dump heat when you're hiking. And then it's also nice that it's enclosed and has this webbing, so if you're sitting down, maybe glassing, and you're dumping heat, you don't have ticks or bugs or mosquitoes, bees. I've gotten stung by a bee before just from having this open, so definitely a fan of that. Again, I am hunting kind of a deserty area, so I definitely want a lightweight pant. But if I were going to the mountains, I'd be running the new 308 pant. It's kind of the same thing as the trace. It's definitely a little heavier. This is such an all-around good pant. It's super quiet for stalking. It has side zip vents. It also has one front vent too, so you can access the vent pocket here. Super cool pant, built-in belt. This is another great option. Moving on to rain gear. So First Light makes a couple different rain gear options, and it's kind of confusing if you're just getting into First Light and you're looking at different rain gear systems. But what I ended up going with was the Vapor Stormlight Ultralight top. They do have the Omen, and they have the, I believe it's the Vapor Light or the Flash. And the flash is good for kind of those squalls. Maybe you're hunting in Colorado and you have a storm blowing through and it's gonna be real quick. But if I'm going in the mountains and it's gonna rain for a while, I want lightweight, which is why I didn't go with the Omen. The Omen's a great waterproof jacket. However, it's a little bulkier. That's might be like your Oregon coast, Washington, Alaska kind of climate. So this is a super lightweight jacket. I just got it in the solid, super packable. It packs up to absolutely nothing, weighs nothing, and this is gonna keep me dry. Going on to the rain pants. So this is what I wear. It's the Boundary Storm Tight. It has full side zips where I can actually just drop these if I need to, and I don't have to take them off. I can just slip them right off. So there's a bottom zipper on the bottom and a top zipper as well with a side strap, Velcro strap. Again, these are super lightweight. I'm a big fan of these. They also have the Omens. Again, super awesome pant. But again, I don't need that Alaska kind of climate. And usually these are stuffed at the bottom of my pack. And if, you know, this year, to be honest, I'm probably not even gonna pack these because rain is so limited out there. I'm not really ever gonna need these. So I think a pair of gaiters and a decent pant will be just fine for me. But if I was packing into the mountains, this is a good insurance policy. So lastly, this is kind of like your static insulation. You're not moving a lot. You're sitting up on a ridge. Just a generic puffy. This is the Brooks Down puffy. Super lightweight. I think it's like 850 or 900 fill. It's really warm. I wore this all turkey season, and it was pretty cold during turkey season this year, and I was plenty warm. I also use it kind of as a pillow if I'm backpacking, stuff this into a sack, and it packs down to nothing. Another option would be like the Uncompadre jacket. That's another great puffy. I also have that, but if I'm backpacking, I want to go lightweight, I'm using the Brooks. And then lastly, just some other items. I always wear a hat. This is just First Lite trucker hat. You obviously can wear any hat you want. And then I always wear a beanie, like a merino beanie, just to take off the edge if I'm going into like October, or maybe that later September in the mountains. And then these are just some lightweight gloves. I believe these are called the shooter gloves. It gives me access to my trigger finger as well as my thumb, and then keeps my hands warm in those kind of colder mornings or late evenings. So yeah, that's kind of what I use for archery elk with First Lite. I think they have a ton of different options. If you go on their website, they have a ton of different options that you can choose from. And you basically have to, figure out what works best for you. After all the research I've done over the years, this is the system that I found that works for me. And every hunt changes your system. So every system that I use is built off of those 7 to 8 layers, going back to the base layer, the mid layer, your puffies, your rain jacket, your pants, and some sort of wind stopper. On this hunt, I'm not really concerned about wind. And if I do run into wind, what I'll do is just take my rain jacket and puffy, and that'll give me enough protection from the wind. So yeah, if you guys want to learn more about First Lite's gear, head over to their website, check them out. They have a lot of new gear dropping this year, including the 308 pants. So go check that out. Please hit the like and subscribe button and let us know what you think of this video, and stay tuned for more Whitetail DNA content.